mole de babão.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Ryno.
Holy mole de babão.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Ryno.
Feels good to be back in the studio. What's up? Happy Friday. You made it. Court is in session. Busy Friday. We've got NBA Finals Game 2. Kings hosted some more workouts today. I talked to somebody a couple of days ago because there's always this little subplot, little context to why they're bringing in certain guys in certain groups. And so it's like my little mission to try to figure out what it is. Like a couple of workouts ago, it was all older guys. So if you have any ideas on today, let me know. I'm still trying to get that down. How about that hockey game last night? So we had Vegas Vegas. They could lose by a goal and you would still win. Hit that. And then Carolina was 4.77 multiplier on Prize Picks to come back. And so I'm like, okay, $10, hit that. So good night on Prize Picks. If you're going to be playing, what are you doing tonight for game 2? Let me know. Adam Silver had another press conference that we're going to hear a couple bites from, specifically behind the scenes with the new lottery rules. And I thought what Jerry told me the other day was super interesting, that it would not have been, what's the right word? It would not have been poor etiquette for the Kings to vote against those rules. Because that's what I would have done, because it does not benefit them. And I mean, I guess voting against them is saying, hey, we know we're not going to be very good. It shows kind of bad confidence in your group, but you might be bad. Not just the Kings, other teams that are in rebuilds. You might be bad and still be in the bottom 3. And when you're a small market team, you've got to be able to rebuild through the draft. It's number 1. Jerry said, you might have to rethink that. And those first or those next 2, free agency and also the trade deadline, those are not usually too good to the Kings and small markets. So that's your Kings in the nutshell. I've got some thoughts on Sac State as well. Sac State, cool. Awesome. I'm thrilled for you. You're Division 1, okay? You're FBS now. Cool. You have your most nationally televised games ever in program history. That's something to promote. You know what's something that's not to promote? Yo, we're in the NCAA 27 trailer for the video game. Like, what are we doing? And then to come and find out there was actual push to get Sac State into the video game. Dorian, I know that you're probably not going to like this, but where are the priorities? Like, to me, that's the groupie stuff. That's not the important stuff. How about a stadium? Maybe that's a little more important. How are you going to raise, what did they say the economic impact was going to be? It was going to be silly, like to the point that Luke Wood and the company that did the report came out and said, no, those aren't our numbers. We said 1 year economic impact. Sac State kind of multiplied that by 4 years. So, anyways, we can talk about them. And then we've got the 3 marks coming up at 4 p.m. Adam Nooch from Parts Unknown will be here. We started discussing something offline, and I'm like, we've got to stop it. We'll take it to the show. So we're going to talk about since it's NBA finals, like our starting 5 during our lifetimes of wrestlers, like who would be our go-to starting 5. And then second half of the wrestling segment, we will recap Clash in Paris and all that has happened. But as I said, the Kings worked out some people today. There you go. That's the list. Went on this morning. Couple of centers, 3 guards. You're going to see a lot of names coming through here. Although we are, roughly 2 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out from the draft. Game 2, as I said, did you see what it's looking like right now to get into Madison Square Garden? Are you kidding me? That's game 3. It's funny. Grant and I will always get into these conversations about how certain cities will never be good cities for a team because fans always sell tickets. Well, San Antonio is a pretty damn good city for basketball. And look at how many tickets got sold to Knicks fan. That felt like Madison Square Garden South. It's going to be worse tonight. Do the Knicks go up 2-0 tonight? Look, everything in my gut says the Spurs are going to blow them out tonight. But then you look at the numbers in the run that the Knicks are on. How do you go against that? Like Prize Picks has them at a 2.77 multiplier. If you're going to take the Knicks, that's insane. So we'll get to that as well. I saw we had some debate. Oh, by the way, you know how it's mock draft season? There's somebody that puts out a mock draft, it feels like every single day. And long and short of it, their latest mock draft is just ridiculous. And so we're going to look at it. Wait till you see where they have a player falling to. Man, how is that person going to keep putting these things up for another 2 weeks until the draft gets here? I saw there was a debate going on before the show started. You know, I heard, who was it? Frank Isola. Frank Isola said if the Knicks win tonight, it could be a sweep. And I don't disagree with him, even though I do have the Spurs winning the series. What I'm saying is I could see the route to where that could happen. Because I've seen some really cool basketball environments. You saw Oklahoma City for game 7. Certainly you are in a hotbed for amazing environments when the basketball is good here in Sacramento. I don't think we're going to see anything, or we will not have seen anything like we're going to see, I believe on Sunday when they play in New York. So that'll be insane. Red California, what's up? So disappointed with the Spurs. Felt like they can lose a game because of the tough series with OKC. Yeah, look, it's not uncommon, especially with Wemby. I've said it a zillion times, and some people disagree, but I'm hearing a lot of people nationally that agree that, you know, Wemby, when he gets gassed, he plays outside. When he plays outside, you know, that's not exactly where you want him all the time. But more than that, coming off of a game 7 like that, you're going to have one of two things. You're either going to just roll in to game 1 with all the confidence in the world, or you're going to have a little bit of a hangover. And then you parlay that into the pressure, the ambiance, the atmosphere that only one player on the Spurs has been a part of, Harrison Barnes, of the finals. It's a brutal mix. And so that's why I picked the Knicks, actually. I believe in game 1. I did take the Knicks in game 1 on Prize Picks. But tonight will tell me where this series stands, because they have won. The Knicks have ran off now 12 in a row. Their point differential right now is 22.7. It's the highest net rating in the history of the NBA playoffs. On average, they're winning games by 22.7 points. They're averaging 121 points, 121.4 per game. And here's the crazy one. They're holding opponents to 98.8 per game during this 12-game streak. So it's like, how do you go against that? So intriguing. And what's Brunson going to be like? How's he going to be feeling? Are the Spurs going to be better off tonight because they've been playing more than the Knicks? Or the Knicks going to be a little bit sore because they haven't played as many games, or at least played 2 games in 3 nights in at least a month? So given a little buffer. Got it. Okay. Spurs in 5 or 6. All right. What's up, Dom? What's up, everybody? It's been a while. I know I've seen you pop in here once in a while, Dom. Good to see you here. Kings never be a good team with Vivek around. We kind of talked about it yesterday. You need a strong-minded GM and not a yes man. You need an owner that lets the basketball people do the basketball things. That's what you need. Best owners in sports, they're hands off. Look at Mickey Arison. Can anybody other than Lynn name the owner of the San Antonio Spurs? He lets the basketball people do the basketball things. Steve Buscemi. No, Steve Buscemi. Excuse me, Buscemi. I'm thinking about Adam Sandler and Crazy Eyes from which Adam Sandler movie was that? Deeds. Hey, Deeds. Thank you for the lift, Deeds. Mr. Deeds. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Steve Buscemi, the one that the Ravens owner. Holy crap. That guy. Presser of all time after they got rid of Harbaugh, but the way he runs his organization, that's why teams have sustained success. 2023 was lucky. 2023 was an outlier for sure, especially because they were supposed to be a defensive-minded team. Yankees have the same problem. That's a brutal injury for Aaron Judge. It's a rib injury. It's going to keep him out, as Dom Dog said, 4 to 6 weeks. The Yankees were just in Sacramento not too long ago. Reds taking a run at Jerry. Jerry answered answered my question. I'm going to assume your typo. I disagree with him. Okay, that's good. We're okay with that around here. Disagree with him. Wemby has a better bag and moves than LeBron. LeBron has no bag at all. I forget was your question right now or like 3 years into the league? Where was Braun's bag compared to Wemby's, or was it like right now? Like you haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg with Wemby. Arguably, Wemby hasn't even picked up his bag yet. Guarantee the Spurs win tonight. What's up, Benny? Yeah, see, everything in my gut tells me that. Everything in my gut. Did you see, by the way, that Dylan Harper, oh my gosh, it had to have been an accident. It probably was not him, but I believe it was an Instagram post where somebody was knocking De'Aaron Fox's play. Dylan Harper's account ended up liking it. Like, I don't usually pay attention to that stuff. Like, that's the whole police thing. Remember when people here in Sacramento, oh my gosh, De'Aaron Fox unfollowed this person. What's that mean? It's like, it doesn't mean a lot because a lot of those guys don't manage their own social directly. But that was interesting because Mitch Johnson already said he's got to have Dylan Harper in there more. And De'Aaron Fox, he has to play inside out tonight. If I'm Mitch Johnson and De'Aaron Fox comes out and he shoots 2 or 3 triples to begin the game and misses them, I'm going straight to Harper. Doesn't mean I'm not going to come back to Fox. I'm sending the message to Fox. He's got to bounce back. This is not just a one-game thing. He played decent in game 7, but leading up to that, he had not been playing well either. So you need a bounce back from Foxy tonight for sure. They're all teammates of the top picks. Oh, there you go. That's actually okay. Fair enough. Good job by you. What's up, Ice? How you doing? Lifestyle? Been consistent in saying the Spurs will only win if Fox is Fox. He pulled a Houdini act. I don't remember the last time Houdini has made an appearance on the Kings court. Pulled a Houdini act in game 1, needs to step up and be a true number 2. The Spurs don't need him to be a number 2. In fact, I would tell you the Spurs need him to be a really good number 3. Stephon Castle is your number 2. Stephon Castle has the ball in his hands more than De'Aaron Fox. So all of you that used to come at me and still come at me, if you'd like to, feel free at Ryan in Sacktown. When I've said and continue to say De'Aaron Fox is not a true point guard, you're like, oh, yes, he is. He's a point guard. No, he's a combo guard. It's the NBA Finals, and you're going to put the ball in Steph Castle's hands every time up and down the court for the most part. It's not like you're running plays for secondary looks with De'Aaron coming off the ball. I mean, the Spurs, one of their signature looks, you'll see it tonight. It's what they call horns. And what horns is when the guy bringing the ball up, so Steph Castle, Wemby, whoever it's going to be, sometimes it's Vassell. You've got screens on both sides of you. You can choose which way to go. And what that does is it makes the back defender have to make a choice between stepping up and helping the ball screen and coming off of the people in the corner. When you see those horns looks, it's Castle running it. And so at the money that he's being paid, his defense has been fine. I don't have a problem with his defense, but the offense is just not there. He's a number 3. Be a number 3. And Dylan Harper is right there, biting at his heels as well. That's a problem, Paul says, where a team has to worry about repercussions. And Silver, why the hell are we doing the lottery pick behind closed doors? Transparency is not a part of his vocabulary. Well, they have members of the media that are in that room. It's not the fact that it's behind closed doors. It's the fact that it makes no sense. Tell me another sport out there that has to go to a state lottery model where you're bringing in the same people that run state lotteries to draw balls, to get combinations. Because if you didn't know, the way it works is you don't just have a ball that's in there that has a Kings logo and a ball comes up and it's like, oh, the Kings now have the second pick. They pick like 4 or 5 balls and each representative from every team is given different. It's almost like bingo. They're given different combinations that are assigned to them. And if those combinations come up, then you get the pick. So anyways, getting into the weeds. In fact, why don't we listen to Adam Silver really quick? He was asked about the behind the scenes of the latest institution of the new lottery rules.
I think what stood out is an issue that had been, that we'd been dealing with the league for decades now. Obviously, long before I became involved in the league in the 60s, there was a coin toss. Then David Stern instituted the initial lottery in the early 80s. Obviously, just mentioned Patrick Ewing around that draft. The lottery was changed probably 4 times over the years. So, tanking is not a new issue for this league. I think what maybe surprised us all a little bit is how quickly it became acceptable behavior in this league. I think it used to be limited, frankly, to a small group of teams. I think I could genuinely stand up and talk about rebuilding and not say tanking. And it was practiced in a different way. I don't know how else to say it. And I think, sort of to my earlier comment about incentives, I don't think this is unique to the NBA. I think you've seen a wave of analytic, experts come into all sports and looking directly at incentives and not necessarily feeling bound by some of the tradition that leagues have followed historically. And so we found ourselves in a situation this year where all of a sudden it seemed like a third of the league maybe was responding in what an economist would say was very rational behavior, but non-traditional behavior in terms of what they saw as a clear incentive to fall to the bottom of the standings. And it may be, or likely was compounded by the fact that there's a perception of a very deep draft class this year. But we ultimately concluded that we needed to take immediate action. Again, our fans were speaking loud and clearly about this being unacceptable. Oddly, you had situations where in some markets, fans were cheering on their teams and saying, of course, this is the right strategy. You either have to be really good or you got to be really bad, which also created a certain amount of unfairness because those same fans may have been saying that's a good long-term strategy to win games, but at the same time they're saying, but don't ask me to pay for this product or to watch this product in the meantime. So what I was pleasantly surprised about is we led a process here in the league office. Byron Spurell was here, Evan Wash, who's part of his group, was sort of our analytics mastermind in helping create sort of this 3-2-1 lottery. But I was pleasantly surprised that the various stakeholders came together relatively quickly. I think there was largely agreement among our team owners, our general managers, and our coaches, and then ultimately the Players Association as well. I mean, they can speak for themselves, the Players Association, but that this was not what we wanted to see in the NBA, that we needed to make some quick changes here, as I said, and deal directly with those incentives so that teams were not put in the position where they felt they had no choice or that they would be at a competitive disadvantage if they didn't engage in this type of behavior. So now standing here in June.
All right, stop the madness. Okay, couple thoughts here, Kamish. Couple thoughts, my man. Here's my first thought. You're not wrong about GMs and owners running to the table to get their yes vote in because you've now flipped the formula. What used to be considered NBA purgatory, which would be not making the playoffs but not being at the bottom, is not really purgatory anymore. Your odds are better if you are there. So hell yeah, the middle of the road teams are like, let's go. Sign me up. Absolutely. But the thing he's not addressing, which pisses me off, because he's right about people saying, well, okay, our team's not winning, so we're not going to go to games, yada, yada, yada. Okay, if you're going to acknowledge that, you have to acknowledge rest management. That is just as big of a problem. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here and kill guys for rest managing. I'm just not, because now I have come to terms with the fact that it's part of the game right now, at least with this group of stars that's on the way out. But that's more what fans were getting upset about. Yo, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, that whole Warriors team come to town once a year, and I buy season tickets so I can have first pick if I have like a group of people that we own tickets with. I do it so I can get one Warriors game, and those guys sit out every time they come to town. That kind of stuff is the problem. So SAC's going to have to really play it as clean to the rules as they can. And if the cards don't shake out their way, you better go back to the commish, who has not shown much of a spine, and say, we did it the right way. We just stink. We're rebuilding. Not unlike other teams in the NBA that were in the playoffs this year, i.e. Portland, but now we're going to be tabbed with the highest odds of getting the 12th pick. What? Anyways, Tay, we got news, my man. We've got news on the salary cap evasion stuff going on with the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard was interviewed by the people doing the investigation on behalf of the NBA. I don't think that's leading to a good place. Tay has changed his mind. He wants Acuff Jr. By the way, Peter did set up our fantasy league for our pick'em brackets, whatever, for the World Cup. Peter, thank you for doing that. We'll have the link for you on Monday if you want to get in on that action. So appreciate that. And Vivek is still paying Mike Brown while hearing about Knicks accolades. Unbelievable. See, Paul, I look at it the other way. I think it's unbelievable that Mike Brown took that job while he was still getting paid by Vivek. Like the highest pressure job in the NBA in a regular season. Like if this was not like a championship or bust season, that is still one of the it's the biggest pressure cooker media wise in the league. But he ends up saying, yeah, no, I'll go do that. Yeah, I'll do it. That's what Vivek paid him the money. So the fact that Mike was up for that challenge, credit to him. Patrick, he wants the Knicks tonight. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
Okay, here's where I stand. If I'm going to be completely real about it, I need the Spurs because that's who I picked. But I kind of want the Knicks. I kind of want to see them finish this thing. Mostly because Jalen Brunson. It's pretty special what this team's done. And kind of for Mike Brown, too. I'm not going to lie. Want to pay Vivek. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm sure he would take your money if you would like to pay him. One thing I'll say, can't really recall a season where the Kings obviously tanked. Yeah, look, if the tanking freeway had a speed limit of 70 this year, the Kings went 75. Everybody else went 80, 85. That's how I would put it. But nothing about load management. Exactly right. That's what I was saying. It really sucks when stars load manage. My dad had season tickets since 1985, and the Kings were always bad. So we'd root to win, but would show up also see a big star on the other team. A lot of fans still do that. I'd be lying if I didn't show up to see people on the other team at times, even when the Kings are good. As part of the allure. Adam Silver should lower the number of games played. He was asked about that. I don't think games played would help the situation whatsoever. I think what you need to do is you need to make the season from a calendar standpoint longer. You make the season a little bit longer. You can you bump training camp to August. Then maybe you just have a much shorter preseason, and then you can avoid back-to-backs. If you want to get the back-to-backs out of the calendar, that's the way to do it. I don't know why the NBA would be against that. Probably because you're going up with the NFL like directly, because that's right when the NFL is really kicking off. But that's what I would do if I was the commish. By the way, for those concerned, NBA Europe, since it's everything here in the NBA, the mothership, the main show, the main event, everything here is good, right? I mean, we haven't just been talking about problems with the NBA for the last 20 minutes, but NFL or NBA Europe set to launch next season.
Pursuing an independent league in Europe. We are very much on schedule. It is our hope and anticipation that league will launch in the 27-28 season in Europe. So we are on track. Final bids from franchises.
Can I just ask a question? Like, honestly, what if the product, it's not going to be as high flying and quote unquote sexy as the NBA? 'Cause the best athletes will always be in the NBA, but the basketball very well could be much better in NBA Europe. Very well. DSC, what up? Knicks in 6, maybe less. You liked the season after COVID when the playoff games were in June and July. Talking about the bubble. I don't even remember those times. Like the NBA part of it. That was such a blur. Oh my gosh. What a blur. COVID. Crazy. Insane. You know what else is insane to me? Sac State. I didn't realize there was this push to get into the NCAA 27 video game. And now the trailer has been released and Sac State's part of it. You know what? That's cool. I would be touting that if I was Sac State. If I wasn't lobbying for it, apparently Sac State was pushing to get included in this trailer. It's, to me, like groupie-ish. Like, does it matter if you're in the trailer or not? Maybe if you want to push to be in the game, okay. But I don't know about you. When I load up, and I'm not going to be loading it up because I'm not video game guy. When I load up NCAA 27, Sac State isn't going to be the team that I probably choose to play with. Just being honest. They're talking about how being in the video game is going to help recruiting. It's going to help exposure. Maybe. I come on. I get the promotion of the national television games. Cool. I get that. You've got more than you've ever had. A couple of them are 7:30 starts. One of them is actually ESPN flat, but I think it's like one of those middle of the week games. But this whole hype about the video game, this is where we need Corn Dog to drop in, because I think Corn Dog stayed up for like 2 weeks straight playing this game last season when it came out. So I don't. Where do you stand on that? Like, I would be more worried about knocking on Kevin Nagel's door and trying to find a way to play in that new stadium that he's building in the rail yards than worrying about being a part of a video game trailer. It makes no sense. Priorities are a little backwards, and I want to make it clear. I am not a Sac State hater. I wish nothing but the best for Sac State. I hope this works out for Sac State. Yes, there are so many dogs in the chat. So many dogs that are part of the King's Court. Last time I counted, we had I think we were at like 7 or 8 different dogs. So I'm sure they'll add on. We'll probably get some more as this summer goes along. I want this to work for Sac State. What makes me hesitant about this working for Sac State is you don't usually build a program and step up in whatever you want to call it, division, and step up into conferences with money. That's not usually how it works. You usually build a program and it happens organically. I said this back when this whole thing started about Sac State to the Pac-12. UC Davis would have been better set to go to the Pac-12 than Sac State would have been. But they brought it together. They brought it within, I think, within a little bit more perspective going to the MAC, but to have to pay to go to the MAC, and well, not to pay, that's fine, but to have to pay for the other team's travel and all that, like, I want it to work. I just don't know how it's going to work. How is the money going to be there? Like, I look at, and I always go back to the Aztecs because that's where I went to school. Football was not number one at San Diego State. I mean, you would have a maybe 12 to 17,000 go to a game at Qualcomm because that's where they played when I was in school. But football was not king. But you know what they started doing? They started taking their bumps and their bruises and doing what programs do that become mid majors that then become programs that are able to step up into bigger conferences, i.e., a Boise State, which I think is a perfect example. You start taking your knocks on your chin. You go play the big boys, the cash games, you build the goose egg, because not only is the money good going to play the big guys, it's amazing for recruiting. It's incredible for recruiting to say, hey, we're playing at Notre Dame next season. Hey, last season we played it, wherever. So to make this jump the way they're doing it, like, I just don't know that their eyes are in the right spot. Like, my eyes right now would not be on video games. My eyes would 100% be on NIL and continuing to retain whatever commitments they have financially from their donors, because that is a fluid situation. They're going to want to see success. So, but then again, it is the MAC. It is the MAC. All right. Tay said he wants Darius Acuff. Check out this mock draft. This guy's been putting out mock drafts now for like 6 months. He's got Acuff falling all the way to the Heat. How about that? I, in no way, endorse this mock draft. That's why I didn't include the person's handle if you wanted to go check it out. Because I think you've got to like change things on a daily basis and put things that are going to be controversial to get clicks. But this might be one of the worst mock drafts that I've ever seen. Not a lot about it makes sense. The only thing that does is Kingston Fleming's to Sacramento. I think that could be a strong possibility. But you've got Mara all the way down with Golden State, which fit-wise, I don't disagree, but he's not going to be there. Lindenberg, OKC. I don't think OKC is going to be picking. So why don't we mix in some trades, because they're going to happen. But Acuff to Miami, that ain't happening, yo. It is not happening. I don't see it. Tell me if I am wrong. So which way you going tonight? I am curious. In game 2, we've got 3 marks coming up here in just over 20 minutes. We're talking about the world of wrestling, talking about our starting 5s during our lifetime when it comes to wrestling. See if maybe we can settle on a group starting 5. I don't think we'll be able to settle on one. I doubt it. But we will have ours. You can give us yours. We'll also, second part of the show, apparently there was a new card release. So WWE, I forget what the name of it is. Something like Cosmo, WWE Cosmo, where it's like the cards are like, como se dice, lunar themed. So yeah, Adam's going to open a pack of those a little bit later, and then we'll talk about Clash at Paris and take your questions about this last week. Speaking of the NBA and Adam Silver, he was asked about the investigation going on with the Clippers. Tay, pay attention.
My instruction to them is, we can't be investigating forever, but at some point we have to wrap it up. But at the same time, the most important thing is that we get it right. And I think that relates to the second part of your question in terms of perception. I certainly hear and read things all the time about the perception of what really happened or didn't happen here. And my only reaction is I think I wouldn't be doing my job if ultimately I issued a determination based on perception. Like my job is to follow the facts. And what essentially happens here is that a factual report together with findings will be made by this independent firm. That's presented to me. It's then ultimately my role to determine what the appropriate discipline, if any, should be meted out based on their findings. So sort of, two independent processes there. And that's what's happening right now. So I don't have a specific timeline on when they will be completed. I think it's clear they're far along. I think those reports are reading all the time from people who are being interviewed by them. And I think they understand that you could keep going on and on, but I think we're close to the point now where I think we need to wrap this up, because you also need finality. Their team has to understand, what situation they're going to be operating under, and so do the other 29 teams. So that's where things currently stand.
Third row.
I do need to give the media some credit. The questions weren't as cookie cutter as they usually are with Adam Silver this time of year. Like Rachel Nichols last year, the question she asked at the finals, just an absolute joke. But remember this too, talking about tonight's game, it just came to mind because I am wearing a Danhausen shirt, that Danhausen cursed every team the Knicks were playing. Are we putting anything into that? Are we a little worried about that? I called the Spurs in 6 on your show the other day. All right. Yeah, the Spurs have to win tonight. This is a must win for the Spurs tonight. I think when I look at tonight, going back and watching last game for a second time, I really don't think the Spurs can or will shoot the 3 ball any worse than they did. Champagny was spectacular from beyond the arc. Fox was awful. Wemby was awful. Vassell was awful. It's very irregular for the Spurs to have back-to-back bad 3-point shooting nights, especially lately in the playoffs. So I do think that's going to get better. So, like, if I'm looking at the keys to victory for the Spurs, my first key to victory is you've got to get the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. You absolutely have to. And they started to do that late in the fourth quarter, and he was still getting buckets. You've got to do it a little bit earlier. You've got to give him some different looks. And I would even pick him up full court. You have the manpower to do it, even if you need to bring Carter Bryant, which arguably Carter Bryant, this is one adjustment I'm not sure Mitch Johnson will go back to. He brought Carter Bryant, the rookie, in to guard Jalen Brunson during the second quarter, and that's what got Jalen Brunson going in the game. Jalen had been pretty quiet. He'd just come back from getting his knee checked out, and he got 2 or 3 back-to-back buckets. So throw different bodies at Brunson, obviously. Also, you've got to get Karl Anthony Towns in foul trouble. It is not a hard thing to do. If I'm the Spurs, get him in foul trouble. I would not even necessarily have Wemby attacking him all the time. I would do kind of what you saw the Knicks do during the Cleveland series, where you're running a couple of sets or you're running a couple of pick and rolls for the third action or the third pick and roll, which gets you the switch, where maybe you end up with a Harper, a Castle, even a Fox on Cat, and get him into foul trouble, because without Cat guarding Wemby, I don't know that they're going to have nearly the success. And I don't even know that Cat's going to have the same success tonight. I need to see that in back-to-back games defensively from him. But if you are able to guard him somewhat effectively, if you're the Knicks, because Mike Brown's packing the paint right now. So you've got to get those guys out of the paint. If you can do that and open up the paint for Wemby, I would expect something to look a little bit better. But again, it goes back to his catches. Watch where he's catching the ball. So I think Vassell shoots better tonight. Pace is going to be important. I'm looking at some of my keys. Mitchell Robinson, coming into the series, I'm like, oh, he better be able to play. If you can't play Mitchell Robinson because of the hand, then you're in big trouble with Wemby. I'm not sure that you can put Mitchell Robinson on Wemby at all. It's just it will not work. Especially that's where I would be putting Wemby on the perimeter if you have Mitchell Robinson on him, which would be because of foul trouble. BJ, who's in Boise, bro, how you doing? Hello, chat. Went to Bardnay. There you go. Bomb, huh? So Bardnay is this place in Boise, Idaho. And Boise is one of those states that is like they have the state sponsored liquor stores where the only place you can get liquor is one of the state stores. And Bardnay bottles, at least last time we were there, they bottle their own spirits. And it's just a really good, like, kind of craft restaurant. What do they call it? Gastropub? Maybe that's the right word for it. Glad you had a good time there. Glad you had a good time. Love Boise. The Spurs not only need to win tonight, they need to win big, 20-point statement. I just think they need to win. I don't think a statement's not going to matter one way or the other. You know, it would be interesting, though, that you bring that up. Mike Brown, and we know this from Sacramento, notoriously will play the starters deep minutes when the game is a little bit out of hand. So that would be kind of my wild card there. If the Spurs did get up 20, did get up 30, and we are 8 minutes, if there's 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, is Mike Brown going to keep the starters in the game? Because that could break one of two ways. Telly, he's going Spurs tonight. Yep, they've got to have it. I'm with you. I totally get it. Everything tells me Spurs, but 2.77 multiplier, for the Knicks on the run that they're on and what I saw last game, you're going to see a much more composed Spurs team. But the question is, can the Knicks speed them up? Because when you speed the Spurs up, they turn the basketball over. Tonight will be interesting. Yeah, there you go. They only distill rum and gin. Good job by you. There you go. Had an old fashioned. Flores just had a tad too much, maybe. Am I smelling some chicken, John? No, John's always going red meat, dude. John, like, what would happen if the doctors came to you and they're like, everything's good, but there's this one thing you got to do. Keep going. You got to cut out the red meat. I think John would probably look the other way and tell the doctor,
You are toxic!
and walk out of the doctor's office. That's what he'd do. Wrestling coming up, 10 minutes. Anybody want to go to New York? Would you pull out a home equity line of credit or max out your credit card to get into the Garden for Game 3? We looked at the prices just a couple, 2 days ago? And the get in the door for the Garden, I think, was like $4,000. So now that the Knicks won, it basically doubled. Imagine if they win tonight. Oh, the tickets for Game 4, if they won tonight, holy bleep. Hey, okay, go with me here. I know this is kind of bizarro land, so put your tin cap on with me. All right, let's imagine that the Kings put a really good winning product on the court,
winners.
and we have winners, and the Kings made the NBA Finals. $10,000 isn't going to be your $8,000, isn't going to be the get in the door price. But my guess would be the get in the door price for a Kings NBA Finals, 2,500. What do you think? 2,500 to get in the door? Does anybody else think that maybe Fox has lost a little explosiveness? No, I don't think. Well, okay, it's going to be one of the first things to go. It's a good question, Paul. He's playing hurt. He's playing injured. I actually give him credit because that's the ankle that has been giving him problems habitually. But no, he's hurt. But that will be the first thing to go. The Spurs, if Dylan Harper has a big series, this series, just like Jerry Reynolds says with the young players, you can't put too much into the way that they finish the regular season on a bad team, because a lot of times other teams are playing their younger players. You conversely, and we'll ask Jerry this on Wednesday, a bad series for a player that's paid what De'Aaron is paid, like a bad series combined with a loss in the series, like losing it, not winning the championship, like that can be a game changer for how teams look at their rosters. It's happening in OKC. People are popping stuff up here and there about Holmgren because it's not like a 1-year thing. The problem of Wemby for OKC is not going away. It's here. So if you don't think Chet Holmgren's going to be the answer to that, you got to look somewhere else with what you're paying him. And the same is true of the Spurs. If Fox cannot get it together and they don't win this series and Harper ends up having a heck of a series, the talk's going to be there. The talk is already there. You saw in the line, or when I put up the screen share, one of the things that was trending was about Fox in San Antonio. Foxy will bounce back, but again, he's not that guy. Y'all that came for my head 2 years ago when I said he's not that guy, he's not a superstar. Like you wanted me gone. You thought I was a hater. You're seeing every little bit of it. And that's okay. Not everybody is cut out to be that guy. Got to have pieces of a puzzle when it comes to building a basketball team. He's a damn good second or third option. Damn good second or third option. Problem is when second and third options want to be paid first option money, especially in this CBA. It changes a lot. All right, wrestling coming up in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to go Spurs tonight, although I did go prize picks with the Knicks because it's a little bit different. It's a poly market. If the Knicks are playing well, you can get out of it if you want to. But I'm gonna put the big asterisk next to it that I will in no way be surprised if the Knicks are headed back to New York up 2-0 on the Spurs. I won't be surprised whatsoever. The Spurs' path to victory tonight is we talked about some of the adjustments, but whoever put in there, the Spurs need to win by 20 or 30. The more I think about it, they're spot on. The Spurs need to have a wire-to-wire victory with a wide margin. Because if the game stays close, you are not going to be comfortable having the Knicks right there within 6 points, 8 points. You need to take them out, and you need to take them out early. Make them be happy. Make them be happy that they got 1 or 2 and took home court back, and get on the airplane and go to the Garden. And don't get anybody hurt. You imagine Mike Brown playing Brunson down 30 and that knee tweak not be good. That would not be good. All right. We're waiting on Nooch from Parts Unknown, and we're going to start wrestling. A Friday tradition. Don't forget, we're back tonight. I know Grant took care of it after game one. Thank him for that. But we're back tonight post game for game 2 of the finals. Grant and I will be together breaking it down for you. So as soon as the final buzzer sounds, hop on over here on If You Don't Like That with us, and we'll be taking your questions, taking your calls. Feeling seems to be it's going to be the Spurs, but holy moly, Nick fan might go swimming. What'd you guys call it? The Dirty River in San Antonio. If they win this game tonight, boy, oh boy. Ryno. Now I do think ticks would be high if we made the playoffs. I just heard some insane prices for season floor tickets next year. Blew my mind. Yeah, the floor tickets are stupid expensive, Paul. And a couple of things with that, Paul. They don't want single year guarantees with those tickets. They want multi-year guarantees with those tickets. It's a big commitment. I don't know who that lady is that sits in one of the cushiony chairs that's right next to the scorer's table by the King's bench, but she is dishing out a ton of money for those 2 ducats. Okay, how can it be a river of pee, though? That would be my question. Because the River Walk has restaurants and everything else all along it. Like, wouldn't you get caught? And, like, it looks like the banks are kind of high, so it's not, like, really one of those things where you could, like, hop in the water, hop out. I think it's called the River of Pee. Icebox, over, under. I'm going to go under, but I'm going to go over on somebody or a handful of somebodies that made money off of the person doing that. There's books out there that you can get that prop bet. I saw books 3 weeks ago that said that have prop bets for whether the president was going to attend a game. John, he's dying on that hill. Ryan, have you ever been to the Riverwalk? I have not. Telling you, it smells like pee. All right. I'll take your word, John. I will take your word for it. Rocks in. Spurs by 15 tonight. Yes, indeed. All right. Waiting on. What's up, Andre? Fox is Harden, number 2. Not ready to quite go there yet and gloss him with that. I'm sniffling my mic. What? The heck does that even mean, Adam? I'm sniffling my mic. Adam, what is wrong with you? Luckily, Adam doesn't come on the wrestling segment. We got Mark Uso comes on the wrestling segment. They almost double prices from last season for that product. Not for all seats. Not for all seats. I talked to a number of season ticket holders. Most did not get an increase. I don't have confirmation on it or not. I did talk to somebody with the Kings. Who was it? Oh yeah. No, I did talk to one of their ticket agents that sells season tickets, because there was this thing going around about the Kings putting in clauses with some of the tickets that if you don't go to a certain percentage of games, they'll rip your tickets from you. And I'm thinking, well, how can that be policed? And then it's like, well, obviously the digital transfers, because nothing is paper anymore for the tickets. And then he said that it's kind of, there's a couple of different organizations that have done it. The Knicks have done it in the past. Boston has done it in the past. And it's really a clause that you put in to try to get fans not to sell to the other team's fans. But it sounded like the way he articulated it to me was it's a little bit of like one of those blanket clauses that's not really enforced. So I think somebody probably made a little bit more out of it than it really comes from. All right. Where are we at? Adam, I see you backstage, or excuse me, Mark Uso. I see you backstage. Give me a thumbs up if Parts Unknown is still coming today. Oh, he is not. All right. Adam and I are going solo.
I don't know, brother.
No Parts Unknown, huh?
He'll get here when he gets here, I suppose.
All right. What's up, dude? How are you?
Well, you know, I wore this shirt just for our friend today after his remarks in last week's show.
Oh, it's Chelsea.
It's Chelsea.
How did she get one of those shirts? A Cactus
She's
Chelsea
the greatest
shirt?
women's wrestler of all time.
I mean, she's not the greatest women's wrestler, but she's a good character. Give her that.
Name a better one. I'll go first. Io Sky. Although I might push back on myself for that.
Okay, Io Sky for sure. I'm going to say Becky Lynch. She is, though.
Barf. No, not even close. You're wrong.
I don't know about that. All right. We also...
Everybody says it. Sports Illustrated says it.
Yeah, well, I think we figured out what that was playing off of. And our newest addition to the wrestling family from Parts Unknown, Nooch Uso. What's up, dude? We should act like we can hear him.
Is there a button on your headset that's muted? Is it plugged in? Hey, that's the first thing to check always.
So check your microphone.
Do the up down with the mic. Come in, Nooch. Commander Nooch.
Nooch, if you can hear us, can you hear us?
You like the flip,
Look
turn
down.
your mic off and then turn it on.
Stop talking, Mark Uso. Look down on your screen. Nooch. Look at your screen and make sure your microphone is not crossed out. Is your microphone crossed out? No. Okay.
Maybe he's just miming right now.
Guess we're not getting any content from Parts Unknown. Nooch, have a great weekend.
Switch back to the kitty headset.
Okay. All right. We'll go back to Parts Unknown in a second. Cool. Good evening, Baki. What's up?
Baki, brother.
Yeah, it is New York time. Nice Captain Crunch shirt.
Thank you, Icebox.
Wonder if he collects any of the UN or the LGN.
LGN
what are the LGNs?
This guy right here. Brother.
Why does that thing look weird? Is it like flexible?
It's not really. It's kind of like it's sort of bendy, but not really. It's pretty rigid in its design, but these were like classics from the 80s. They re-released them with some classic characters, some new guys. You got a Logan Paul one.
So Logan Paul, yeah, he legit got hurt. Interesting.
Oh
All right,
my God, his arm is torched. He's done.
do we have parts unknown? No.
What
Okay,
the heck?
it's all right. We'll give him. He's worth the wait. I'm telling you. Okay. So I'm gonna tease this because we're gonna do it in a little bit. But you already
We
got.
could do it right now if you want, while we
No.
wait for Nooch.
All right, go ahead. Take it away. Tell everybody what
right.
you have and what you're gonna do.
Well, okay. I apologize, Ryan. I shot my shot before they actually arrived. They should have been here today. They may still arrive today. We still have plenty of time.
We've got him.
Oh,
There we go. Okay.
Welcome, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for the effort.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but I literally walked in from work. I threw on a random shirt. I'm all oily. I was like, oh shit, I got to hook up the microphone. And hello.
You look great though, man.
we'll let it
Thanks, man.
happen
Thanks,
once.
man. Thanks, man. Yeah, I want one free pass. I'm invoking my one free. I'm so sorry I did it bad.
Dude, you got a couple of hall passes around here, so
Okay,
you're
cool.
good.
So what's up, gentlemen? How's it
what's up?
going this beautiful Friday? What are we chatting about?
Well, so we got into this conversation offline, and I think without us giving out our ages, but I think we're all within, give or take, 5 or 6 years of each other.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we had to come up with a starting 5 of the top 5 wrestlers of our lifetime, one, who would your starting 5 be? And number 2, well, let's start there. Who would your guys' starting 5s be? If we were going to do a draft right now.
Adam, can you fire this off the top of your head, or?
Yeah, I got you. I'll start with Dean Malenko, Mae Young, Val Venus, Al Snow in the oddities.
Seriously?
No, he can't be. I was about to say Dean Malenko. I was like, hey, that's the man of 1,000 holds.
Hey,
Dean
but
Malenko
you
is
know who
legit.
is the man?
I'm like, wait a minute.
Becky Lynch is the man.
Yeah, she
It's
is.
definitely not Becky Lynch.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll hit you with mine.
Okay.
It's Hulkster, number 1, all day, every day. Number 2. Oh, why don't we do this draft style?
That's what I just said. Do it draft style.
Okay, so Hulk is my number 1 pick.
Hulk's your number 1 pick. Okay. Nooch, you want to go number 2?
I don't even have to think about it. Kurt Angle.
Okay. Kurt Angle off the board.
It's true.
It's damn true.
All right. I, with the 3rd pick, am going to have to go with the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for leaving that wide open for me.
You can't take Hulk in the
Finish this
Warrior. You can't take Hulk in the Warrior.
I'm not taking Hulk in the Warrior. I'm taking Hulk in Stone Cold Steve Austin, brother.
All right.
Oh, I did a Hulk Stone Cold thing.
Yeah, it works.
You can't beat me anymore.
Nooch.
I
Okay,
got the top 2.
Okay, well, arguably. Nooch, why Kurt Angle?
Okay, so there's so many layers to this. I can give you the quick answer and just say I have such a deep appreciation for technical wrestlers. I love a good technical wrestler, and I think Kurt Angle is one of the greatest to ever do it. I see highlights of Kurt Angle and Chad Gable, and that's probably the reason I'm such a huge Chad Gable guy. He's probably my favorite active wrestler right now, is Chad. But yeah, Kurt Angle is just from my lifetime of what I've experienced with this industry. Kurt Angle, in my opinion, is the best to ever do it. The best.
Fair.
And then there are layers though. His characters, like all the saga of Kurt Angle and him, like just being the biggest dork in the industry whenever he came out in like the early 2000s. He's just such a dork. And then like when they transitioned him into heel, like he was an ultra bad guy. Like he was an ultra bad guy, but the people still loved him. Like it was so hard to actually turn him heel because you just gotta love Kurt Angle. So yeah,
And
sorry, number one, Kurt Angle.
He seamlessly went from an Olympic gold medal to just taking to WWE like nobody, like a fish to water.
And if any of you have not, this is to the two of you or anybody watching, if you haven't heard the story about his Olympic medals with a broken freaking neck from his own mouth, like hear him tell the story.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's so much more grueling and worse than you think it is. Like, oh, he had an injury and he powered through. No, it's worse than that. So like listen to that story and listen to him tell it. It's so good.
Yep. Amen.
He
All
had
right.
He had a great interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he tells all that stuff, his TNA days, which, he talks about being called Perk Angle. He doesn't love that because it brings up bad memories, right? So I get it, but I'm with you, man, Nooch. Kurt Angle is on my list somewhere, but
that's fair.
Hey, why are you plugging your boyfriend's show here?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to plug my stuff here too.
Yeah.
I can't reach it because my mic's in the way, but I'm going to plug that too. So hit me up on social.
Real quick, show. In the sense of fairness, Adam, why, quickly, because I have a hard out at 6:30, just so you guys know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, my time. I just gave you, hey, parts unknown. You know my time zone now.
Yep.
Why? Holy crap! I can't remember who you said your number one was, Adam.
Hulk.
What? Lay it out. Like other than him just being. I mean, I get it. You could just say he's Hulk Hogan, but like, what is it that puts him at the number one slot in your list? Because that's a big spot. There's a lot of wrestlers out there. Number one is huge.
I don't think. I mean, I think wrestling would sort of be what it is today without Hulk, but it wouldn't have been what it is back then and today. I think to the magnitude, like I think back to like that time in the 80s, the early 90s and stuff. And he literally was Mr. America at one point, right?
Yeah,
but he was Mr. America. And there was so much like national pride and he felt like a part of that. And it was like America showing their strength. And as a kid, man, he's a 24-inch pythons, brother. What you gonna do? And I went to a show in 1990-91 at Arco Arena. It was like a house show. And got to see Hulk, and it was just mind blowing, man. And nothing will ever top that from getting to see the Hulkster back in that time, man. Like it doesn't get better than that.
All right,
say what you want about the guy, but
Ryan,
you're up, buddy. What's your second pick? He went stone cold.
Oh, I'm up. Second pick. Now I'm going to say after we do the number one slot, the rest of these, and this could be a hot take, no particular order.
Yeah, that's fair.
But number one for me, Kurt Angle is number one. That dude, that's number one. But everybody else is just the rest of the Mount Rushmore. I got to go with Undertaker, man. Got to go with Taker.
Yeah, you can't ignore Taker.
Mark Calloway and Undertaker, you can view them separately or as one entity, is just a locker room leader unlike anything that's ever really come out. He knows what his part is. He knows how to play it. He did a successful rebrand and then went back to the whole, like, we went from Undertaker to like American Badass back to Undertaker, and it was all absolutely seamless. Like, it was totally fine. Everybody accepted it. Yeah, Undertaker.
He was the judge of Wrestler's Court.
Yes. Anybody that knows anything about court knows that Taker was the judge. Yep.
Yeah. You know about Wrestler's Court, Adam?
No.
Ooh.
That's some fun stuff. That's a rabbit hole, buddy. That's a rabbit hole.
That's a big rabbit hole.
So basically, go ahead, Ryan.
No, lay it out. You got it.
So the quick version is when somebody did something. It could be anything. It could be like getting a little too much contact in the ring, eating somebody's sandwich, an infraction. Sure. And the talent, the locker room would hold court, and they would be pretty legit about it. Like you would have your prosecution and your defense, and they would state their case, and then like they hold court. And at the end of it, most of the time, Taker was the decider in this. And there have been many sessions held about many things, from the smallest of infractions to like stuff that probably should have been handled at like a human resources level.
Yeah.
But Wrestler's Court, man, that's a fun rabbit hole to get into.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna say it's in no particular order too. I gotta put Cena in there, man. John Cena, he did, and I understand that there is a bigger personality that's still floating out there. But like he carried the business when the business shouldn't have survived, like in a PG era, right? And he was able, for the most part, to keep things somewhat fresh, and is like goofy and dorky as he would be sometimes. He was never unaware of what like the fans always wanted, and he'd like throw you the little jabs here and there. And so yeah, I'm gonna say John Cena.
Love that.
All right,
Adam, number 3.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Give
me Razor Ramon.
Really?
He impacted you that much, huh?
Bro, when I was a kid and he'd go up to the screen and throw that toothpick in your face, get the hell out of here.
The disrespect.
He is the greatest wrestler to never get the big one, man. And he was just overshadowed or booked poorly, but he should have had a run at some point in one of these companies. Just oozing machismo.
Dude,
his time in NWO, I personally think, was a large part of what carried NWO. Or no, was he Wolfpack?
Well, so it was like Wolfpack first, right?
Yeah,
it was,
Kevin Nash.
It was Scott and Hall, Nash and Hall.
Yeah.
And then we had Bash at the Beach, where Hogan turned heel and won the belt. And then they formed the NWO. Together. Okay. So I'm taking 2 members of the NWO.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, when his like first theme used to like go up, like it freaking hit. Like it was perfect.
My soul just left my body. Yeah, I feel Adam right now. Yeah.
And I mean, Adam, I'm not gonna lie.
This is too good.
Your toothpick throw was pretty good at the camera.
Yeah, that was very good.
All right, Nucci.
I wish I would have brought one with me.
Number 3, Triple H.
Okay.
And I can give a really quick description
with
of
H.
No, my wife calls him. Triple H, in this industry, as a product that we consume, no wrestler has ever terrified me more than Triple H.
Okay.
Like, just like when that dude would come out, like, I'm young, we're in the middle of the Attitude Era. DX is doing its thing. And this is like right around the time. It's near the end of DX. I already thought he was awesome, but near the end of DX, when he got his Motorhead intro music, right? Whenever it's all about the game. And he had that whole intro with the water. It's, the bit. Yes, I am. Yes, I as a kid would answer the TV yes, Triple H, I am ready. Like, and whenever he would come out and do the water thing and just like the shadows of his pecs and how shredded he was, and just like, I honestly thought I still think of that era, he had the most imposing figure of anybody. Like, because it wasn't just how big he was, it was just like the wrinkles in his forehead, they are so deep because he's just so mad all the time. And like, Triple H scared the hell out of me, and he has a permanent spot on my Mount Rushmore, non-debatable.
Okay, so you bring up a really good point. Was there a wrestler that like legit scared the crap out of you, Adam, as a kid?
It sounds weird, but maybe like George the Animal Steel, because he was so hairy. And he would just like go in the ring and drool and stuff.
Hairy like animal.
I think that's almost like
know.
more scary to think to wrestle him. Like, that'd be gross. I don't want
I
Ryan?
don't know about that one. Let me think about it.
Okay, so like
I will say, sorry, last one thing about Triple H. Huge fan of his wife.
You're a fan of a lot
when
of.
I was 16.
Yeah, like, why do you like all the bad guys?
I mean,
like, who in the hell stops and be like, you know who I really like is that Stephanie McMahon. She's pretty badass. Like, what? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not hating on Stephanie. Like, oh, okay, fair. Back when Chris Jericho was calling her
Reminded
very
me of
derogatory names.
Climbing the rope at gym class.
You don't get the show.
All right. Okay.
Right.
I think the two things that terrified me was the Undertaker when he stuffed Ultimate Warrior in the casket. Like, I legit remember watching Superstars, and I'm like, they can't open the casket; it's sealed. Like, what the hell's gonna happen to him? So he scared the crap out of me. Papa Shango scared the crap out of me, where like the Warrior would be like puking up whatever colored stuff. But honestly, back to the Attitude Era, Nooch, Kane, bro. When Kane debuted and like he came out in that like mask and the suit, I'm talking like this, and ripping doors off, you know, like that terrified me. So
Kane. I think even today, as the mayor of Knox, Tennessee, Kane is still terrifying.
I might throw like the Brood in there with Gangrel.
Okay, that's fair enough.
No,
Nice
it's
drop
not.
buckets. Oh, give it to him.
No, dude, I don't know why, but even when I was really young, right? When I was young and doing the Attitude Era, I didn't buy in Gangrel in the Brood for a split second. I absolutely despised Gangrel as a wrestler. I still do as an adult. Like, I thought the bit was bad. I thought he delivered it poorly, and I thought he was a terrible wrestler. The only thing good, in my opinion, that came out of the Brood was Edge.
No Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said what I said.
All right, fair enough.
May I throw in Raven to that conversation? Not that he was scary, but he was a badass, man. Raven was the baddest, bro.
Is it weird that I feel like Raven was that depressed guy backstage too? I mean, this is a totally baseless accusation, but I feel like Raven backstage was still just like, he sucked like that all the time.
No, hell no. Raven was the shit back in the day, dude.
Have you ever
go to YouTube, watch those WCW live streams, man. Those things are awesome.
Have you seen what's the Vice show? It's called Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side. Yeah.
Okay. They did one on that dude LoJack. That dude was legit crazy. Y'all remember who LoJack is?
No, I don't remember LoJack.
Good. You don't want to know who LoJack is. That dude was crazy. Okay. Anyways, all right. I think we're back to you, right?
I think. Well, who was yours?
I think it's you, Ryan.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Is it me?
I have voices in my head, they counsel
You
me,
have to
they
go
understand.
with the best classic heel of his generation.
Oh God.
He's the work that he did with Triple H and Stephanie and just that dude. It's Orton.
Goat.
I love Orton. So
Goat.
yeah, he's a goat.
Can't disagree with you.
Yeah. What's
All right.
weird though is he's not necessarily on my Mount Rushmore, but I can't. But I kind of feel like now you got me the numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Adam, number 4.
Number 4, I am taking the Ayatollah of rock and roller. Y2J, give me Chris Jericho.
You love
all
you some
day,
Jericho.
baby. I
All right.
love Jericho. He's probably my, Hulk and Stone Cold and Jericho are those 3 are interchangeable for me. I loved him when he was in WCW carrying the welterweight belt, and then he switches over to WWE and makes title runs for the big belts. Eventually, man, he's always evolving who he is, his persona. Oh, we're getting the full screen. He's always evolved his own persona and made things fresh and done innovative stuff, technically sound. The Walls of Jericho is one of my favorite moves of all time when he just bend their neck sideways.
It's like a Boston Crab on steroids.
Top held Boston Crab with their neck twisted up.
Yeah.
Dude, give me Jericho all day, man.
Love
Have
it.
you ever
All
listened to his band, Fozzy?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You ever listen to Fozzy?
Yeah.
Fozzy's not that bad, dude. Happenstance was a good
they're not
album,
that bad,
okay?
but they're not that good either.
I think
right?
Judas is his best song, probably.
All right. I
All
think I
right.
might shock you guys with this one. This one
Yeah.
might be a little unexpected.
All right, we got to get Nooch out the door. What is it?
RVD.
Really?
Absolutely, dude. The 5-star frog splash that man would pull off was absolutely. And I'm sorry, but go back and watch any match of that era. Nobody sold it like RVD sold it. And you sold what? Exactly. Any of it. Doesn't matter. Sold a stunner better than anybody. Sold his own frog splash better than anybody. Like the dude sold, and at least at that point in my life, I've never seen a man be that high in the air. When he would come off
Or
the
that
top
high.
turnbuckle, or that high, when he would come off the top turnbuckle for his frog splash, I swear to God, dude, his hang time was insane. It's like he has to stop and take a breath up there. Like
It's true.
and then to the second part of that would be his unorthodox style, like the way he would do his enziguris, like the way that he would kick like underneath on an enziguri. Like just RVD was super innovative. I think he was a limit pusher, and I still do this to my wife. Like I do this happens constantly. This is a part of me.
I love it. I love it. Where's Ric Flair?
You do that to your wife?
We're doing
The
this.
frog
We're doing our lifetimes. We weren't really alive for Ric Flair's prime. All right, Nooch, we got to get you out. Oh, go ahead.
I'm with the Ric Flair pick. Like he's in there somewhere. Personally, for me, by the time I got to watch Ric Flair,
Yeah,
it
doing
was
scary.
not like too late, but
Yeah, and that was also with me. By the time I really knew what was going on, now I'm not going to say Ric Flair's not a top 10, top 5 greatest of all time, just not of
Absolutely.
my time.
Right.
Right? Like
Yeah,
by the
100%.
time, so I have nothing bad. Actually, I think Ric Flair, like you tell me how he made his body last as long as he did. You know what I mean? There's not another superstar out there that has pushed the limits as far and as hard as Ric Flair did.
Yep.
With that being said, I don't want to interrupt you guys. I'm about to have to head out. I want to give you my last on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned him once tonight. And I do want you to know that my Mount Rushmore has changed today than the last time I talked about it, but I don't care. Chad Gable.
Damn. You
And
got
I
to
know
respect
he's new.
those guys.
I know he's new. He's current. I get that. It's like, how could you put somebody like actively on the roster in your top in your Mount Rushmore, but I just think Chad Gable will be remembered as one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I think he's in for a huge singles run. And to close this out really quick,
What do you guys want to talk about?
you have to put Cody in. You know why?
Cody's great.
Yeah, you have to, because he's part of what started AEW. This new run in WWE doesn't start without him. Revived it. It was getting stale.
So before I head out, before I click the button, I hope you guys have an awesome show. Please have a great show. I will check in on the rest of it as soon as I can. I do want to say that my Mount Rushmore is not necessarily what I consider the greatest of all time. They're the greatest to me.
Yes, exactly.
So I just want to make that it's who entertained me and who impacted me the most. And even me as a question mark aged man, Chad Gable is dude. Okay. But I have stuff I have to do tonight. Thank you guys for having me back. I love doing this. I can't wait to come back and do it again.
For
and
sure,
I will see the rest of your Mount Rushmores and know that I will judge you for them.
Yeah, go do what you need to do in parts unknown. Appreciate you, dude. Love you, bro.
Guys.
Be well. Neuter, killing the game as always. All right, you want to run down Clash in Paris real quick?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. All right, so we started off with Gunther versus Cody, which was not a bad match. I'm not criticizing the match itself. I thought it was good, but it was too short. You gave him 11 minutes in the ring. And the ending sucked. And then not only that, but then you follow it up with the next match, ending with the same sort of botched drama. Like, not in the same way necessarily, but, the ref isn't aware that his leg under the rope isn't okay, or shouldn't qualify as a pin. And then you go into the next match, and then we had the botched leg lift and all that kind of crap. But then they tripled down on it on Monday night and did it again with Braun Breaker and Seth. And it's like, can you learn your lesson? Yeah. And Icebox has a great point here. I want to highlight that because he hit me up this weekend about this.
He literally is in my mind right now. That I was just about to retort with something similar, but go ahead.
Yep. When they have PLEs on regular ESPN or other people that don't have the app, don't watch the show, they try to cram as much in as they can. And like, I agree with that. But they also didn't, because the match that followed it was 23 minutes or something like that. And I just don't think they gave the Gunther and Cody match enough space to breathe. And they could have done so much more with that. It would have hooked people to buy ESPN to watch the following matches. So I think Icebox is absolutely spot on with that. Man.
This is not the 90s where it's you run the first 60 minutes of the pre-show on pay-per-view, and then your screen goes dark and it's like, oh, do I buy it? Do I not buy it? Like, you have your apps. You have them or you don't. I would probably go out on a limb to say the percentage of people that buy the rest of the event or sign up for ESPN Plus, which is $30 a month after already getting at least one of the main events free, is very small. It's stupid, and it's actually screwing the people over that are paying, because they're doing exactly what you said. They're cramming stuff in that should not be crammed in. It should be allowed to breathe. You don't have any time limits, right? Because you're streaming to your own just direct network or whatever you want to call it, the app. They need to do away with this, because you're getting crappy matches that are not targeted at the people that are actually ordering and subscribing to the service. It's trying to bring in the mainstream or people that don't really watch it. And so it's a little bit of a different style. It's just I don't like it. I
And
don't
it's
like it.
it's like if you were going to take those two matches that you plan to have on ESPN.
Sorry, I got to blow my nose. Go ahead.
If you were going to give those two matches that you put on ESPN 23 minutes or 11, like you should have given Gunther and Cody the 23 minutes. I'm not taking anything away against the other match, but maybe you could have split the difference also. And I just think that anybody who's watching ESPN that would be interested in wrestling probably already has the full ESPN app experience, whatever the hell you call it. They probably already have it, and they probably already have the ability to watch all that stuff. And it just sucks, man.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
do this to Gunther all the time, dude, and I'm so sick of it. And it sucked. But here's what sucked the most is that AAA set Clash up for failure. AAA had the best match of the year, in my opinion, the night previous to Clash. And you had this incredible match between the Grande Americanos. It was my favorite match in a long time. Years. I mean, probably going back to Cody Roman 41. In the last 2 years, that was my favorite match. I know CM Punk versus Roman was an incredible WrestleMania finale. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I don't disagree. I'll admit that the CM Punk Roman build was awesome too. That was great, but it didn't have the pageantry and drama and build up. And if you watched like a couple of 2 months ago, a month ago, whatever it was, the Americanos had this just ongoing brawl on AAA during their Saturday night show that carried through on the whole show. And you watch that and you're building it up. And this match was just incredible. The finish, the post-match interview that Chad Gable had, as soon as he took that mask off and the blood just starts gushing because the mask was all that was holding the blood inside Chad Gable's head from pouring out, and he takes it off and hands it to him, and he says, you know, I was the first Americano, but you're the only one now. It was just, as the kids say, absolute cinema. That's my match of the year, and you're going to be hard pressed to convince me otherwise. It was awesome.
Well, you better hope that this is the launching pad for Chad Gable, because really what you've done is you've made two separate quote unquote, well, you've made one star in AAA. Okay, so Ludwig Kaiser, whatever his name is, what's he call himself, the authentic or whatever, El Grande Americano.
He's just El Grande Americano.
Okay,
yeah.
So anyways, you know, that's going to be the gimmick there until it runs out. But they fumbled Chad Gable a couple of times. This has got to be, and I think it probably is, which is why they replayed the match after Raw this week. This has got to be.
And they watered it down.
Oh, they did?
changed some of the stuff, like they edited it, whatever. But they watered it down on the Netflix version. So please go watch the YouTube version of it.
So to me, this has got to be the match where his real push starts. So
and yes, you're absolutely right. He should have won the IC belt. I hate to say this, against Gunther at some point.
Yes.
2-3 years ago, whatever
100%.
it was.
They screwed that up. Yes.
Yep. They screwed that up. And I think they also screwed it up when I said this a few weeks ago. They should have had somebody take the AAA belt off. They should have had one of the Americanos take the AAA belt off of Dom a few weeks ago to set up not just a mask versus mask, but the AAA belt on top of that. And then you have Ludwig take the belt and the mask.
You're doing too much
off of Dom.
No, you're doing
Dom's
too much.
been I understand what you're saying, but Dom has been non-existent on both brands as of late. And so, yeah, you're right. They can set up a Ludwig Dom match in the future, and Ludwig takes the belt off of him, and I think people will cheer. But yeah, you got to do something with Chad. Penta's got the IC belt right now. So Chad Gable, who hates luchadors, is now trained and ready to face a luchador and probably take that belt off of Penta.
Yeah, you know, that's a really good call. Okay, let's switch really quick to Obafemi. They did the thing that they needed to do. They cooled him down. And I was here last week. I said, you need to turn this into a best of 3, whatever you can get out of it. And it looks like that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he's in King of the Ring. He won his match on Monday, which is a 4-way match. And, you know, I mean, rumors are that, you know, Brock comes in,
screw him out of it. Yeah.
Screw him over, and then you set it up for
Yep.
the rubber band. But yeah.
Your girl, Sol Ruka, IC title. We were right about that as well.
I slept through that match. This is when I took a nap during Clash in Italy. I woke up towards the end and saw her win.
It's like the middle of the day. Why are you taking a nap?
Bro, I'm old, man. I want to. I usually wake up early every day, and you know, somewhere around that 1 to 3 o'clock time, that's when I take a nap. But I think my favorite match of Clash was the Oba and Brock match.
I agree with you.
We had Braun versus Seth on Monday night. I thought that was an incredible match. That match was horrible. You're the guy trying to buy a Brock Lesnar card off of me, so don't speak on that. Messing with you, Icebox.
I'm just saying. Okay, so here's the thing, man. Like, what are we doing? There's no vision left. Like,
I mean, but that's not by their own design. That's not their fault. They are cursed. They're cursed, which is why Paul Heyman took a big bump on Monday night. Does he realign with the new bloodline?
Oh my goodness. I'm getting dizzy thinking about that. Yeah, okay, quick thoughts on that. Where's that headed?
The bloodline? Who knows, man? I really think Jacob should have won at Clash, personally. I don't know. You just got to have a little bit of parity, set something up. Obviously, I was calling for Zilla Fatu to show up last week. He didn't. I don't think that's out of the picture in the near future, but yeah, I don't know, man. Something's brewing. They're doing something.
Wait, is Braun hurt? I don't read the dirt sheets really anymore. Is Braun hurt?
Well, there was some video of him leaving a hotel in Italy where he was visibly limping through the lobby, and I don't think it was a work. He looks hurt. He's hurt again. So,
dude's fragile. He's getting close to the F word.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to put that on him. He finished out his match. In the Braun versus Seth match was awesome. My point to that being, like, why didn't we have that match at Clash in Italy? Why couldn't we have moved one of the other matches to that Monday Night Raw? I don't know, but it was an exciting match, and I think overall, like, it wasn't a bad. It was just whatever, man. Like Clash in Italy was just okay. Like I think I just got soured from the start with the 11-minute match with Cody and Gunther. I think that just ruined the rest of the night for me. I was checked out at that point.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. You got a pack to open and tell everybody about?
Oh yeah. Let's get into that. Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have my Cosmics. I thought they were going to be in today, but I did get.
They're not in. Okay, let's put you full screen.
Yeah, I didn't get them in just yet. Who knows? The night is young. We may still get that, but they released a WrestleMania. I don't know if you call it a box or whatever it is. We'll call it a set. But it's 14 base cards of everyone who participated in WrestleMania. But then they throw in one insert for each box that you buy. So
Each box or each like blaster.
It's not even that. It's tops now. So it's not like your chromes or whatever, right? It's just like it's a tops now thing. They do tops now for like specific events or things that happened. And so they did a WrestleMania one. Some of the inserts that I got in the boxes I bought, we got a Torrie Wilson. We got a Bret Hart. We got a John Cena. This is just from what I pulled. And then we got a Stone Cold. So those are kind of the basic inserts. But you also have a chance of getting an insert on each box with a numbered card. And so some of the number cards that I've hit so far, I got an out of 50 Brock Lesnar.
Whoa.
Oh, just wait. I got an out of 25. This is a bookend 25 out of 25 Roman Reigns, which I think this is a cool card because it's the first time he's won the heavyweight belt.
Does that give it more value if it's the bookend?
I think it gives you more leverage. Maybe not more value, but you could be like, hey, someone wants the one or the end of the bookmarks, right? So that's the 25 out of 25. And now wait for this one. You ready?
Ready.
Out of 10, CM Punk.
Wow.
So that's a cool one. But I saved one last little box. I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay. Where do you find these?
It's just on Tops. So typically when they do the Tops Now stuff, you got about 72 hours to purchase the card card. Typically they do like one-offs with the cards from the website. Let me find my knife. And then they sort of come in this package sealed thing. So I'm going to open this right now. Watch me cut myself and bleed profusely on the show.
Dude, they're printing money because they can just like print like a one of one anytime they want. And it's going to be.
Yeah. And they do, right? So like with the base card sets, they do numbered, typically anywhere from $3.99 all the way down. They'll print that, but then on top of that, you have like inserts, which can also be numbered as well. So there, any given set, you might have like 4 one of ones for any wrestler, depending on the set. But so for this one, we'll kind of run through. These are all the base cards. I'll tell you when we hit the numbered or the WrestleMania insert. We got Cody. We got Randy. Roman.
Punk again.
Yeah. Punk. Yeah.
a good
These are
pack.
going to be in every set of these WrestleMania cards.
Oh,
So,
okay.
We got Oba. Here it comes. And another John Cena. Damn. That's not what I was looking for in this
What
one.
was your insert? Is it Cena numbered?
Yeah, it's the Cena. It's not numbered. This is just like your basic insert. Seems like I hit all the good ones. Well, I did hit all the good ones. You got Drew, Jacob, Liv, Steph, Rhea, Jade, AJ Lee, Becky, and that's about it. So you get those 14 cards plus something like this, or you get a numbered.
So what's so special about the Cena? Because he didn't wrestle?
No, they just do like throwback inserts with people. So not every box that you would buy of these is going to have the Cena. You might get the Stone Cold. You might get the Tory. Bret Hart.
Is there a chase card with the Tops Now set, the WrestleMania set?
It's strictly with the numbered cards.
Oh, okay.
So that's where you really want to hit is in the numbered. So I got out of 50 Brock Lesnar. We got an out of 25 Roman and an out of 10 Punk.
What is the, just curious, like if we were talking about the top, and then we'll wrap up. It's got to get going. It's a basketball game. If we were talking about like the top 3 most sought after, valuable WWE cards out there, what are they?
There's an old Hulk Hogan that's like a yellow border around him, and it's a really old picture. That one's gonna fetch you a lot. I don't know. I mean,
is it autographed?
No. Just a old classic card. Yeah, maybe you can pull it up. But it's an old Hulk Hogan card. That's probably, for me, that's my number one. But I mean, it just depends on the buyer. The cards are worth what people are willing to pay for it, to be honest. So
was it Tops 2026?
No. I mean, you're probably going back.
Oh, you're talking like back in the 80s.
Early 80s.
Okay, so since so since like they've revamped like the card stuff, what do you think is?
Yeah, GPKs are cool, but they're nowhere near, like, all people care about are one of one autos. Those are going to be your top hits. Like,
okay.
Anything that's low numbered, out of 5, out of 1, that's where the money is. And if you pair that with an auto, even more so.
Sweet. All right.
So.
All right, that's your wrestling segment. Adam, appreciate you. Nooch, appreciate him from Parts Unknown. Grant and I are back tonight. Make sure you join us after basketball game. We'll be doing a finals post-game show. So tune in for that if you got nothing else going. Hoping for a good game, critical game, must-win game for the Spurs tonight at home. And next week, we've got a ton of stuff more planned. Jerry Reynolds Wednesday, another wrestling segment next Friday. Have a couple surprises that I am working on. So appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Adam, have a great weekend. Everybody
Go
out there.
Knicks.
Yeah, go whoever you're cheering for. We will be back next week. Appreciate everybody. Court is dismissed for the week.